abortion. Well, the push to get health care reform done now has led to a revision of the president's travel plans. Senior White House correspondent Major Garrett is here with that part of the story. Good evening, Major.
Good evening, Brad. Well, as your update a moment ago outlined, and as my colleague Carl Kamen has suggested, events change very rapidly on this whole health care issue. And we had a big change here at the White House this morning when the president announced a 3-day delay in his scheduled departure for Australia and Indonesia. But before the White House press corps could collect answers as to the why and about that and other issues, the press secretary, Robert Gibbs, well, he had to go through some changes of his own. Making good on a bet with the Canadian Prime Minister's spokesman, Gibbs wore a Team Canada hockey sweater. That was the cost of Team USA losing to the Canadians in the gold medal Olympic hockey game. Gibbs shed the red and white for the red, white, and blue, taking questions that way for most of the briefing. And for the first time, Gibbs said Mr. Obama feels the wind at his back on health care.
The president feels some momentum on this issue. I think the president believes that while many thought this issue was going to go away or was dead a few weeks ago, has gotten new life.
But not so much momentum that the president, who conducted a 90-minute review of the Afghanistan military offensive in the Situation Room today, doesn't believe it's safe to leave Washington until March 21st for a trip to Southeast Asia. The president, who's been telephoning House and Senate Democrats already, still doesn't have the votes. At the urging of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid, the president has cleared the last 3 days before his departure to lobby, cajole, persuade, and push health care across the finish line.
All three agreed that it would be helpful to have a few extra days here talking to members.
New York Democrat Anthony Weiner detected a sea change.
There's been a tidal change, I think, in the last 72 hours or so. I think people are becoming more confident that we're going to get this done.
But momentum is fleeting, and on this issue it has, just like the tides Weiner spoke of, ebbed and flowed. Harry Democratic leaders say they need more time.
I hope the vote will be the next 10 days.
I feel very exhilarated by a caucus that we had this morning. We stand ready to stay as long as it takes to pass the bill.
Democrats are still waiting for tabulations from the Congressional Budget Office on what the still-to-be negotiated fixes to the Senate health care bill will mean in terms of revenue, cost savings, and deficit reduction. Impatience for those numbers is almost epidemic.
It's an independent agency. I wanted them last Friday, and I would hope that we have them today.
So the White House waits, making clear the schedule is up to Congress.
I will leave deadlines up to the Speaker.
And based on today's outfits, Mr. Gibbs might also leave Olympic outfits and Olympic betting up to someone else. As for betting on health care, the White House isn't prepared to do it, but they feel more confident because they have an agreed-upon schedule. Now what's left is making sure there are enough Democrats to vote on what's on the schedule. Brett?
Major Garrett live on the North Lawn.